All right, guys, starting out 1-0 on the year. How's that feel?
It feels amazing, honestly. This is what we expected for the team, and Coach Murphy coming in, having a new little vibe to the program. Going out there executing. Going 1-0, like you said. Camp was good. It was a longer process than normal. Offense had to get adapted to all the new stuff he put in, but obviously they went out there and did what they normally do. So
Seems like defense was pretty acclimated tonight. Only 7 points against Wayland Baptist. What was your guys' mindset out there to go and set the tone on the defensive end?
Coach D got us in the Gator mindset. So getting after the ball is kind of a habit now. And we left some food on the table. It's always room for improvement, but we got to go back to the drawing board and just get better.
Justice had the big interception earlier on in the game. What did you see from the quarterback there, and how did it feel to kind of get that big play to help get the spirit going?
Yeah, when you're out there, a lot of things just happen so fast. So, I'm just dropping in my pass coverage. Next thing I know, ball's coming right, my direction. Put my hands out, got it, and it was a great play to make early in the game. I got to give credit to all other 10 guys on the field, for doing their assignment. That way, I'll be able to have the chance to make a play. But, yeah, I'm happy with that one for sure. Needed that.
Corey, you just attacked the quarterback today, man, and you were just all in the backfield. How did it feel and what were you seeing from the lineman that allowed you to get such great reads to go after anybody that was in the backfield, really?
My coaches told me I got a good first step, so it's just capitalizing off of that. And it felt good to get back out there after, off season and the summer workouts, the spring workouts. It just felt good to see your work actually, count for something.
Guys are heading on the road next weekend, heading on the road for a while. We won't see you back here until mid-October. So what's the mindset now being road warriors after starting season 1-0?
Yeah, so, we've been, knowing about this gauntlet coming up, and, personally, I'm excited for it. We get to go out, and I expect our team to come back with 4 more wins in our pocket, and, we get to come back home to that ACU game, which we didn't get the opportunity to have last year, and, that's a big rivalry game, so, being able to come back 5-0, play them, that's the expectation, and I think we're going to easily execute that.
Also, one last question here. Big crowd tonight. How did it feel to have the Spirit Faithful behind you?
We back, baby. We back, man. I couldn't wait. I could not wait. I can't wait for the next game. It ain't nothing like just looking and just seeing everybody. 'Cause it's always empty while we practice. So, like, when it's time to cash in, it's like everybody can see, you know what I'm saying, the finished product.
Mm-hmm.
It's just good. It just feel good. We back.
All right, no further questions. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you.
All right, man.
All right, guys. I'll start with the same question here. 1-0 and a pretty sizable win today. How's that feel?
Feels pretty good. First game's always a rough game because there's always a lot of mistakes. All 3 phases: special teams, offense, defense. Stuff that we got to clear up going forward.
Offense did set the tone, though, scoring 28 unanswered points in the first half. So what did you guys see in the defense that was allowing you to be productive today?
It's just film throughout the week. Just find out what coverages they're in and just find plays to work against the coverages. And we gotta put more points on the scoreboard. I feel like we left a lot of points up there.
49 points tonight. It's interesting that you say you left some out there. Is any key plays in particular come to mind?
Just some missing assignments that stuff could have been like touchdowns, and we just got to clear up on those, and hopefully we put a lot more than 49 points on the board.
Also, add in there, look like you did your Karate Kid impression there at the end of the game. You want to take us through that run there?
Yeah, that was just in the moment. That wasn't planned or nothing. It just happened.
So guys are heading on the road this week, and then on the road for a while after this. So what's the mindset like knowing that it's road games from here on out until middle October?
Well, I'm new here, so I kind of just follow Luke. I mean, since I've been here, he's been the leader. I had my fair share of mess-ups tonight, so I kind of looked to him, looked to Jalen McGee, looked to the O-line to find answers, and they kind of lead us all in the right direction. So,
I've been through this schedule before. My first year playing, we had 4 consecutive road games, and I think it's just that staying healthy. You know, you're always on the road, so it's like less recovery time throughout the week because we got to fly over there and like fly back. So I just think just stay healthy throughout those weeks and continue to execute week by week.
Also, first game back with the Spirit crowd. How'd that feel tonight, especially with someone who's been here for 4 years now and somebody that is new here?
for me, they showed out. I mean, it was my first time here, and you could feel it, like even walking through it. After the game, you could feel it. It's hard to even get back to the locker room, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think just the guys on the football team, like off the field, like we're able to build a fan base by being men off the field and being respectful to people around the school, and that makes them want to come to the football games because how we treat them. Same thing with the student section. Student section was nice. A lot of people from the school was there, and I really loved that. And like a lot of people who are not even associated with the school came out just because they meet us at like a neighborhood Walmart, and they just want to come see us like play football.
All right, with you guys being on the road for a while here and not returning until October 18th when we face that team down the street, what's your message to the Spirit fans as they gear up for a lot of road watching before that big home matchup?
Yeah, the 4 weeks is always rough because like it kind of creates that space in between like our first home game. So I think that first game back at home is going to be pretty packed because a lot of people want to see our matchups between ACU.
So with the big win today, how are you going to take this motivation and get you through these next few games, get you back to home, and through the rest of the season? How are you going to have this help you carry through?
Evaluate film tomorrow, correct that stuff that we made mistakes on, all 3 phases, and just continue to get better at those week by week so it can translate to trying to get to an undefeated season. And the main goal is the national championship.
So obviously you guys mentioned how you've been aware of the gauntlet coming up. Do you almost prefer to get all those road games out of the way first so you get a lot of home games to end the season?
For me, being new, I think it's good for us to get out of the way. Cause I think going in, getting ready for the playoffs. I know these guys are used to going there, so I kind of staying home, not having to travel, might be good for us. So
I think being on the road will be a test for us. It's just adversity, like, because that's unheard of going like 4 weeks straight on the road. There's usually a home game in between, but it's just adversity for us as a team and a staff that we just got to continue to fight through that and build our character through those rough 4 weeks. And that would like develop us into a lot better team and build us for the playoff run that we hope to go on.
All right, thank you guys. Good luck.
Appreciate it.
Coach, we can officially say you are 1-0 in your new era as head coach of OUAZ football. How does that feel?
Feels great. It feels great. That's exactly what we envisioned, and it's a culmination of a lot of hard work, and it's not an end or a finish. It's just the beginning.
Good offense and good defense tonight. What do you think was working well?
I think our defense played exceptional. I think we put together a great game plan, and those guys played hard. They executed. They played with composure. That was one of the most things I was proud of, is our defense really played with chaos within the whistle, and then they got off the field. We played a pretty clean game, not too many penalties at all, especially on the defensive side. And so I thought that was something to be proud of, to say the least. Offensively, we did some good things, had explosive plays. Obviously, I think consistency and not hurting ourselves are things that we got to clean up. But the nice part is we put ourselves in a situation where we control our destiny. If we play, the way that we can play, we get to control the outcome, and not everybody can say that, and that's a blessing.
Also, one of the other things that I noticed tonight is physical on both sides. Is that something that you really pushed into the players for this weekend?
I think so. I mean, football it's the best sport in the world, and the physicality that you need to play with, is built into the game. You have to be a courageous young man. You have to be a brave person to put on that helmet and go out there. And we've got a lot of brave young men that are not only great football players, but they're being brave with their life, their faith, and that's something that I'm most proud of.
Also, with this being your first game, this was also your first time seeing the Spirit Faithful in the stands. How did it feel to have that crowd behind you tonight?
Awesome. I mean, it was such a good feeling to come out there and feel the energy like that, and the Spirit Faithful. It was really a cool experience for me. I got to kind of take it all in at the end when I turned and I looked back at the crowd, and it was something that I'll remember for a long time. I really appreciate everybody that came out, supported our young men, because I truly believe that anybody that was wearing a helmet out there today are the type of people that we want in this community and in this world.
By all accounts, that first half couldn't have gone better for you guys. But obviously the kickoff return touchdown, Waylon really was putting some pressure at the start of the second half. What did you need to tell the guys, and what did the guys start doing? What did you see out there to respond to that and not let that get out of hand?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I need to kind of go back, watch the film. But you definitely lost our stride there a little bit coming out of the halftime. So we're going to have to reevaluate, what we did at halftime, what we did coming out, and how we can do it better. Because I thought we played it a very good at first half and played about as terrible as you could have in the third quarter. I'm really, really proud of them to see how they handled adversity, which is a good thing, and I think it'll make us better. Because if it would have been all smooth sailing throughout, the lessons and the preparation that it provides us moving forward, we're kind of going to look at that as a blessing, hopefully, as we move forward.
I wouldn't say there were very many sloppy plays on offense, but that fumble, can you just take me through what you saw on the sidelines going through that play?
Yeah, just a lack of miscommunication. We got to continue to, get reps. Running back, coming into the game, we were already down a couple. So it was one of those things where a lot of people had to step up. A lot of guys that, weren't entirely sure if they were going to play or not. They had to come in and play. And so I think it's a good example to our entire team that when your number's called, you got to be ready. And so on that play was just pure, lack of the amount of reps over and over and over again, where some of our rookiness showed.
Speaking of rookiness, your first year as a head coach, and you get a home game, immediately go on the road for about a month. I'll ask you the same question I asked previously.
Yeah.
Do you kind of welcome that adversity? And then second part, do you kind of prefer to get those road games out of the way first so you can take advantage of the home games on the stretch?
I try not to get too much into the preferred or not preferred, just because you can't control it, right? So, what I try and do is just focus on what we can control. And, what you kind of just said is a great way to think about it, right? Basically, this is what was laid in front of us. We have no choice, so let's make the best of it. And the best of it is, we get to go be road warriors. We get to go bond on the road, and if we come out of it on top, or the best we can, we'll be prepared to come back here and enjoy the fruits of the labor, and get to come back and play another game in front of these great fans.
And then obviously with Chapter 1 officially behind you, starting with OUAZ, a lot of coaches will feel pressure to make changes when they first come in. Did you ever feel that pressure, whether it was at quarterback, at roster, scheme? Was there anything you really felt you needed to change and you're glad you didn't, or one that you wanted to change and you're glad you did?
Yeah, I think I'm hoping that's a strength of mine, is that, I never really try and make it about me. I try and make it about them. I try and make it about the team. So we worked really, really hard on, leaning into the things that have already worked well. Coach Nesbitt has done a great job of building this program, and he and I are like-minded, where we want the best for the Spirit. And that's something that I was not afraid to, not make changes when changes don't need to be made. And again, it's not about me. It's about these players. It's about putting them in the best position. And I've tried very, very hard to get out of my comfort zone to do what's best for our team.
Also, Coach, with this long road trip and not coming back until the 18th of October against that team from Glendale, what's your message to the Spirit fan base as we now sit and wait for the next home game?
The message is, we'll be back. We'll be back. We'll be ready to roll. And tonight was such a great night, and I can't thank them enough for the support that they showed the team.
Hey, Coach. Alex Daftian, OUAZspirit.com, representing the City of Surprise and all the fans, man. Hey, Coach, 143 days ago, you're in the upstairs VIP room doing your introductory press conference.
Yeah.
Tonight, big 49-7 win to start your career. Tell us how the last 143 days have been like for you, your family, and everyone else involved in the journey, the ups, the downs, the emotions, all of it.
Well, that's a big question. For me, 143 days ago, I opened that speech about how I talked about how my family shaped me to bring me here and make this opportunity. And, unfortunately, that time I lost my mother. And it's something that I'm dealing with on a daily basis as I come through this. And I just hope she's shining down, looking at us. And I felt her out there today and even after the game. And, going through those trials and tribulations is a story that I told somebody the other day that's very important to this program. My family was in Miami a lot of the time, so I had to come back and forth. And a lot of the mornings I would run the stairs out there, and I'd watch the guys run in the morning with the strength and conditioning coaches. And one of the days the coaches, or one of the players said to me, "Hey, Murphy, why don't you come out and run with us?" So I took the bait, and I went out there and I decided to run with the guys. And before I went out for the run, Coach Hernandez goes, we're doing the conditioning test tomorrow, right? And when I went out there, I decided that I was gonna, push through it. And I was already regretting it about the first 5-10 minutes when that Arizona heat was coming down, and we're doing stretches, we're pulling our legs up and doing movements I haven't done in a long time. And about halfway through the conditioning tests, I was hurting. I was dizzy. I thought about how embarrassing it would be, and I kind of looked and thought about my mom. My mom always said to me, you're special, you're a leader. So I believed her. And, never give up was one of the last things she ever said to me. And when I was out there with the team, I kind of felt, those guys kind of tapping out, and I felt that pressure, and then I kind of stood up and the sun hit me, and I felt my mom out there with me. And I found a way to get through the test, and I know it seemed like some of the guys were fairly impressed. And I said to them at the end, I just thanked them so much for letting me to be out there with them. And, I expressed to them how much I had been hurting and it just kind of felt like it was a moment of healing, and it was one of our first like true bonding experiences as a team. And when you talk about kind of like those moments from here to there and where we're at on those 143 days, these boys, you know, they've enriched my life so much, and I'm doing my hardest to do right by them and, you know, guide them the right way. And for us to kind of have tonight go well, it was a great start.
Thanks, Coach.